end of the Second World War, and it's right at the very end of the Second World War, just a couple of days before the Germans end the war, or the British end the war. And it's about an escaped British prisoner of war, and he's heading for Switzerland. And there we have the mountains that he's heading for, the Swiss mountains, which is not actually the Swiss mountains, but it's the right direction. And it's all film in it, pretend. And one of the beginning shot will be him running along that ridge there, heading for Switzerland to get out of Germany. And there's a little watchtower over there. I'll show you that in a minute. And in that watchtower there's an old man who only just was eligible to be put in the army. Because he was so old and useless, and he's an alcoholic as well, they put him on this duty in this field. It's a sort of forgotten area, like one of those Japanese soldiers who was left in the forest at the end of the war, and they stayed there for 20 years. But this guy's there in this watchtower. Let's have a look at the watchtower. So this watchtower behind me, that's where the German soldier's gonna capture the British guy from. And I always like this tower because it's just like one you see from an old war film. It's in the perfect setting with this field behind it. And we can go up and have a look inside what the view's like from there in a minute. And if anybody's watched Hogan's Heroes, you know the fat guy who plays Schultz in there, that's the sort of character I'm looking for. A bit overweight, a bit bumbly, not really a stormtrooper. So there in the background you can see the watchtower there, and that's where the old man's going to be in there. And he looks along the thing and he sees the guy coming. And he's sitting up in this little tower and he's blind drunk on schnapps, and he gets his courage up and goes down and apprehends the British prisoner of war prisoner, and he arrests him. And at first he's a bit unfriendly, but then he takes him to his little hut. I haven't found out where the hut is yet. And this kind of drunk, what would he be called? Untergruppenführer. No, he's not. He's just a simple soldier, private, who's got no idea what's going on, and he's almost at retiring age anyway. Anyway, he takes this prisoner of war to his little house somewhere, and they go inside, and eventually he gives the English guy some schnapps, and they get talking a little bit, because the English guy's learned German in the prisoner of war camp. And they get talking, and the guy looks around his little house where this guy lives, and he sees loads of old posters from blues stars, old blues stars like Leadbelly and old blues stars and jazz stars from the 30s, and he sees the posters from all these old American stars, because before the war this guy was really into jazz and blues, and he didn't really want to go to war because he liked the American music. And he gets out his guitar, and he's got two guitars, and they both start playing some blues together in this little shed, and they get blind drunk, and a lot of hand signals. They become friends, even though the prisoner of war is still the prisoner of this guy. Anyway, they're all drunk, and then in comes one of the generals from the army and orders the soldier to kill the prisoner of war, because war's just ended, and he's a bit sour, this general. And that's the little house I thought I'd use for the exterior shots of the German soldier's house, his little hut where he sleeps. His supplies in there, his schnapps and his sausages. And then we could probably find somewhere to do the inside, or even do it in in the studio at the inside of the hut. Anyway, yeah, so the German soldier, the general, comes and orders him to shoot the English guy because he just wants to have it all ended up nice and clean. And then the soldier doesn't know it's the end of the war, but he realises that his old blues friend means more to him than all this nonsense soldiering, and shoots the general instead.